What if I told you that what you believe, deep down and without question, is shaping how you experience everything? Not just influencing it, actually shaping your life. And that's not because your beliefs are facts, but because they filter what you notice around you, how you behave, and what you expect from others and from the world. So today, I want to invite you to get curious about that. Let's look at how belief shapes who we are. In the background, through those thoughts that we repeat so often, they start to feel like facts. Maybe the things we are most sure of in life are the very things holding us back. We'll look at how this unfolds in our sense of self, in our relationships, and in the culture we are part of. And we'll ask what would happen if we questioned the things we are most certain of in life. Let's explore this just to see what happens. Let's start by talking about the loop of belief and why what you are sure of in life shows up everywhere. Let's say you believe you're not good at relationships. So you walk into social situations a little guarded. Maybe you expect people to misunderstand you, to ignore you. You notice every little sign that confirms this belief. Maybe someone interrupts you, or someone else is looking at their phone while you're speaking. You might not even notice the signs that contradict this belief, like someone genuinely asking what you're doing, or the way someone smiled so much when you walked in. Cognitive psychologists call this the confirmation bias, which is our tendency to look for, interpret, and remember information in ways that confirm our existing beliefs. The father of American psychology, William James, once said that belief creates the actual fact. And that's not because belief has these magical powers, but because it shapes where our focus, our attention goes. And our attention shapes how we behave, which then leads to the facts that happen in our lives. When you believe something about yourself, like, I'm too sensitive, or I'm bad with money, I always mess things up, your brain starts scanning for evidence to prove this. You see around you what you are already sure of. The scariest part of this is that most of these beliefs that shape our life aren't even conscious. We pick them up growing up from parents, teachers, social media. And because they've been with us for so long, they feel like they are objective reality. But they're not. Let's think about the beliefs you carry about yourself. Not the surface level ones, the really deep ones that live far beneath your thoughts and feel like undeniable facts. Are you someone who always has to be the strong one? Or maybe someone who people can't really rely on? Or someone who never finishes things they start? Or always has to prove their worth to others? These aren't just ideas. They are internal scripts we have. They shape what you pursue, what you avoid, what you tolerate in life, and what you believe you are worthy of. Maybe you turn down new opportunities because you don't see yourself as capable. Or you self-sabotage when you accept those opportunities. Or maybe you stay in unhealthy relationships because some part of you believes it's the best I can get. We rarely stop to ask where these beliefs are coming from. but they often trace back to moments we barely remember. Maybe a dynamic we learned, a teacher's comment, a sibling's or a friend's joke, maybe a parent's silence when we needed them to say something. There's this 2021 study from Stanford that showed that people who believed they were bad at math performed worse on math tasks. Not because they lacked the skill, but because the belief they had triggered stress and avoidance. They literally stopped trying. That belief they had became a barrier. And that's exactly what happens. Belief becomes our behavior. Behavior, in time, becomes our identity, who we are. And our identity shapes our reality, our destiny. So if we want a different outcome in life, we have to start by questioning what we are sure of. Now let's think about the beliefs you have about other people. For example, people are selfish. They always disappoint. You can't really trust anyone these days. These kinds of beliefs don't just stay in your head. They inform how you move through the world. If you expect others to hurt you, you might hold back. If you expect people to let you down, you might not give them the chance to show up differently in your life, to prove you're different. There's this philosopher called Martin Buber. He offers a really interesting insight on this. He describes two fundamental ways of relating to others: the I-it and the I-thou. In the I-it mode, we treat people as objects. Useful, predictable, distant. We see them through the filter of our own assumptions. But in the I-thou, we encounter the full reality of another human being. We relate to them with openness, without reducing them to categories or to expectations. When your beliefs about people are rooted in fear or disappointment, you tend to live in the I-it world. You manage relationships rather than experiencing them. But when you start questioning those beliefs, when you let curiosity replace this certainty and this control, you start to relate in a new way. Your beliefs about people don't just affect how you see them. They affect how you allow yourself to be seen by others. Now let's zoom out a little. What do you believe about the world itself? Do you see it as dangerous, unfair, a place where everyone's only looking out for themselves? These beliefs affect how you interpret news, how you talk to strangers, how much hope you carry for the future. And you're not alone in your beliefs. Many of the beliefs we have are shared, passed down by parents, by family, and reinforced by the culture around us. Sociologist Emily Durkheim calls this the collective consciousness, a web of shared moral codes and beliefs that bind a society together. These collective scripts shape how we vote, how we educate, and how we build our institutions. They influence how we treat people who we've never met. For example, if enough people believe that success is always a solo climb, we'll build very competitive systems that reward individualism over collaboration. If we believe that people can't change, we'll design prisons instead of rehabilitation programs. If we believe the world is too broken to fix, we might give up fighting climate change or injustices before we even try. But here's what's powerful. Every collective starts with individuals. Your belief about the world matters. It doesn't exist in isolation. It contributes to the tone of our culture. And when you change your beliefs, that shift ripples outward. It influences what stories get told, what policies gain traction, and what futures feel possible. Even if you don't identify with religion, you likely hold deep beliefs about meaning, about why things happen, what makes life worthwhile, and how justice plays out. These are spiritual beliefs, even if we don't label them that way. For example, do you believe that everything happens for a reason? That life is just a series of tests? Or that suffering is required for growth? Or maybe that good things are rare and reserved for certain people only. These beliefs influence how you move through grief, how you interpret success and failure, how you make sense of the uncertainty, the mystery of life. They're like the quiet narrative running under the surface of our existence. There's a spiritual teacher called Eckhart Tolle. He wrote The Power of Now. I really like him. He writes that the primary cause of unhappiness in our society is never the situation, but our thoughts about it. It's a reminder that our internal lens, our beliefs, can distort or clarify any experience. What we believe about our lives doesn't just affect how we interpret the past. It shapes how we move through the present and how we create our future. Even if we don't always realize it, we all carry beliefs about what life means, what it demands from us, what it promises, what it owes us. These quiet assumptions shape how we experience pain, how we seek joy in our lives, and how we interpret what happens around us. They touch the deepest layers of who we are. And because they sit so close to our core, they either keep us repeating the same patterns or make new ones possible. But that requires work. So if you are feeling disconnected or unsure why certain patterns keep showing up in your life, it might be a place to begin, questioning those beliefs. Not waiting for big answers, but just shifting to a more curious place, just to see what happens. Here, let's try something. I want you to grab a piece of paper or your notes app and write down 3 things you're sure of about the world. For example, people only care about themselves. Take your time. You can pause. I'll be here. Now I want you to write 3 things you are sure of about yourself. For example, I am too hard to be loved. I don't deserve love. Now I want you to look at those beliefs. Do they reflect the life you want? And if not, where do you think they came from? Was it a parent? Maybe a comment someone made when you were young? A friend group? Or even a cultural narrative? Reflect on this for a minute. Now I want you to choose one belief you'd like to replace with a new one. Something that feels possible, expansive, but honest about yourself and about the world. For example, if your belief is, I am not deserving of love, I am really hard to be loved, I don't want you to just write, I am deserving of love, and keep repeating those affirmations, I deserve love, I deserve love. That is going to feel very uncomfortable to your nervous system. Maybe you can start by trying something like, I am learning to be loved for who I am. This is important because the next step is I'm going to ask you that for the next 3 days, you read these new beliefs about yourself and about the world in the morning and at night. This has the power to shape your life experience. But it's not magic. It's called neuroplasticity. The more your brain hears something, reads something, sees something, the more it looks for proof in the world. And the more proof it finds, the more real this belief becomes. So I want to invite you to try this, just to see what happens. And if this video stirred something in you, please subscribe for more, and we'll keep exploring together every week or other week. Stay curious.